This is an interactive video lesson that will help you improve your ability to transform personal and cultural experiences into creative ideas relevant to professional, empathetic, and inclusive contexts. Having this skill means that you can leverage your own cultural identity as a source of inspiration and differentiation in cultural and creative industries. Translate personal emotions and experiences into artistic creations, using stories, symbols, and contemporary forms of expression. Transform life experiences into creative messages with a positive emotional and social impact. Connect with your audience through empathy, communicating authentically and inclusively. Work collaboratively in intercultural contexts, developing creative projects with community impact. To develop this skill, we invite you to watch a short animated video, learn more about cultural expression and idea development in creative and cultural contexts, and then take a self-assessment exercise.
Welcome to the first lesson of our course on cultural awareness and expression in the cultural and creative industries. In this module, we will explore how personal and cultural identity can become a valuable resource for creation, innovation, and professional integration. Today we will start with one of the most important skills: the ability to express your ideas, emotions, and personal experiences with empathy, clarity, and creativity, transforming them into relevant cultural products or services. We will see how every detail of your own story can be transformed into an authentic and memorable message. Each of us carries a story. The story of where we come from, our family traditions, language, customs, emotions, and experiences that we have inherited and pass on to our children, but also the HR changes we have gone through. In the cultural and creative sectors, these experiences are not obstacles, but authentic sources of inspiration and differentiation. This lesson will show you how to identify these hidden resources and how to use them to create unique and relevant products. Cultural expression is not just about aesthetics or decoration. It is about meaning, emotion, tradition, and identity. It is about creating something that tells a real story and can be recognized and felt by others. Imagine that your cultural identity is the foundation of your creation. It is shaped by daily experiences, family relationships, stories heard in childhood, and symbols that have surrounded you from the beginning. Perhaps you grew up with certain customs or traditional embroidery, with stories told by your grandparents, with old songs or holiday rituals. All these elements are more than just memories. They contain powerful emotions, values, and meanings that can be transformed into contemporary creation. It is important to recognize these sources and capitalize on them in a personal and creative way. The creative process often starts with emotion. Emotion gives meaning to the final form. Traditional embroidery can become a graphic pattern for fashion design. A family story can be transformed into an animation or an illustrated book. A photograph of your native village can become an artistic poster or a visual campaign. Think about it. What element of your childhood or culture represents you the most? What emotion is associated with it, and how could you translate it into a modern creation that is relevant to your audience? What techniques, colors, or shapes would help you preserve the authenticity of the message and create an emotional connection with those who will interact with your product? Every life experience, even a difficult or painful one, can be transformed into a creative idea. The difference is how we choose to view and express it. In this lesson, you will learn to transform complex emotions into creative material through a structured and conscious process. The process begins with conscious observation. What happened, how did you feel, and what impact did it have on you? Next comes reflection. What did you learn and what message do you want to convey through your creation? This detailed analysis helps you understand which elements are truly important and how to integrate them into your projects. For example, a woman who has gone through the experience of migration may create a series of illustrations about longing, loss, and hope. Another person may write children's stories about adaptation, courage, and discovering a new beginning. Someone may create jewelry inspired by symbols of protection and resilience. A simple step-by-step process can help. Write down the experience, identify the key emotions, decide on the main message, and choose the appropriate artistic form. Reflect on how your message may be perceived and felt by others, so that your creation is not only personal, but also communicative. Experiment with different modes of presentation, from visual to auditory, to see what resonates most. Learn to listen to feedback and use it to constantly improve your work. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their emotions and needs. In creation, empathy is essential to producing art that touches people's hearts and creates real deep connections. Ask yourself, who will see this product? How does this person feel? What do they need to hear or recognize in my story? By constantly asking yourself this question, you will be able to create products that communicate the desired message with authenticity and sensitivity. Empathetic art does not judge or exclude. It builds bridges between different people and experiences, connecting the local audience, other women in similar situations, or people who want to better understand Ukrainian culture. Creative products that convey genuine emotion and respect have a greater impact and are more memorable than those that only pursue aesthetics or current trends. Learn to create with your heart and mind, combining an authentic message with the right artistic form. Observe audience reactions and use feedback to refine your message. In this way, each project becomes a learning experience and an authentic expression of your identity. Creativity develops and amplifies in the community. Collaboration with other creators or professionals from different fields opens up new perspectives and enriches the work. By working together, ideas become more complex and valuable. Creative workshops, working groups and intercultural projects are spaces where ideas meet, complement each other and evolve. In these contexts, inclusion and respect for diversity are fundamental and contribute to a healthy and productive working environment. For example, a Ukrainian artist may collaborate with a local photographer to create an exhibition about female identity, migration and belonging. The result is a project that is more complex and powerful than any individual creation, speaks to multiple audiences and creates real impact. Notice how each contribution adds value and encourages innovative ideas. Reinterpreted traditions can become creative products relevant to the local and international market. A traditional symbol, reinterpreted with sensitivity, can take on a new and contemporary form. It could be a poster inspired by Ukrainian embroidery, a logo that integrates cultural symbols, a jewelry design, or a series of illustrated stories about roots and identity. A practical exercise can help you get started. Choose a traditional symbol, note what it means and what emotion it conveys, then transform it into a modern product, a poster, t-shirt, logo or decorative pattern. This is the first step in converting tradition into a creative opportunity, adapted to the current market and sensibilities, while preserving cultural authenticity. Use this practice to experiment with other ways of presentation, so that it becomes a continuous process of learning and innovation. Don't be afraid to explore new materials, techniques or collaborations to expand your creative impact. Remember that your cultural voice matters. Your experience, story and perspective are valuable and can make a real contribution to the cultural and creative sectors. Authenticity is one of your greatest strengths. By creating with empathy, sincerity and respect for your own identity, you can turn your personal story into a professional opportunity, but also into a message that inspires and unites. Observe how your impact can be felt in the community and how it can positively influence the lives of others. Your voice matters. Your experience matters. Your empathy matters. In the cultural and creative industries, authenticity is your strongest asset, and your impact can be felt by entire communities. Keep exploring, sharing, and creating, because every story brings value and contributes to a richer and more connected cultural world.
Now we invite you to the quiz section, where you can test your knowledge by answering the following questions. Tick the correct answer. Regardless of whether you chose correctly or incorrectly, you will be given an explanation for the answer. Let's begin. That's all for this lesson. Thank you for participating. Follow the program in eStudio to deepen your key skills for entrepreneurship in the cultural and creative sectors. Upon successful completion of the course, you will receive the digital badge Success in CCS, I Can Do It.